And that is how you pivot.
Do you know that was 4 years ago that Kate McKinnon said that?
4?
I think it was during the last 2016.
Dude, time is flying.
I know.
That's crazy. She's so funny.
I know. And that is how
you pivot.
Well, before we get into that, welcome everyone to the Freddie and Alyssa Show.
Yeah.
Episode 60-something.
68.
Yeah. Wow. We're grinding out. We got to do something really big for our 100th.
Yes, we should.
You know, we'll do something creative and fun for that. But today's episode is sponsored by CBD for Life, one of our fave products.
Yes, what you got over there, boo?
This one's the foot cream. I think we've featured the foot cream before, but
okay,
it's incredible, so we always want to talk about it.
You always make me rub it on your feet all the time. And I'm a good wifey, so I do it. I love the foot cream.
Well, it's kind of like getting a massage. If you give yourself a massage, it just doesn't do the trick.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
So you don't need a partner to help you with the product, but if you have one, put them to work. Put them to work. It really helps with alleviating pain. It just feels really good on your foot. They have a lot of benefits and a lot of different products over at CBD for Life, and they've been super supportive of the show, and we really appreciate them. And it's always good when it's a two-way street, when the products are great and it just works out and it's something that we use.
Yes.
So I really appreciate
that. Especially with all of your walks that we do.
Yeah.
Your feet get real sore.
You got to keep them. You got to keep them good.
But CBD for Life is the best, and as always. They gave us a code, Freddie Alyssa 20, for 20% off at checkout. And you can check them out at cbdforlife.us. You can get some foot cream. You can get lavender roll-on, lemongrass rub. Oh, I love all their stuff.
Yeah, they're all good. And there's no parabens or anything like that. So, yeah, check them out, cbdforlife.us, and use Freddie Alyssa 20. Mm-hmm. Freddie Alyssa 20 at checkout. And this is how you pivot. But yeah, I can't remember what Hillary Clinton was actually saying. But
I remember her though at the debate with Donald Trump, and she did something, and then she turned. I think she was talking about teachers and teaching, perhaps. I can see it in my head what she did and where she was at. It just, our son wants to get up. What do you know?
Just 40 minutes, Benj. 40 minutes. Yee. He went on a really long walk with us today.
It was so good today.
Yeah. Real quick, though, to touch on this, I watched a clips. Actually, I watched the whole thing about a month ago, and it's in like half-hour segments where Hillary Clinton was on Howard Stern. And but it was so refreshing to see her in a long-form conversation.
I watched a little of that with you, and she just seemed like way more relatable, likable.
Yeah. But she went through like a lot of the, there's just such a massive team behind her of basically like, I think she's just so deep in politics and so deep in that it's kind of, we're coming at it as like as an artist or like a new wave like politician coming in like that we see in the races that have a new fresh outlook. Like this has been like years and decades of like the typical politician type thing. But she didn't come off as relatable as she did in just a long-form convo of just being a person where I go, oh, you're a person. You're not just someone on a stage that is like avoiding certain questions because of certain...
When she was campaigning, you just felt her rehearsed answers. You just wanted to see a little bit more human-esque personality from her.
Yeah, and we're not picking on her, just anybody. Like any politician on any side of it. It's just like I think that the whole entire way we're communicating is opening up to authenticity. Yeah. And anytime I see anybody who goes, I don't want to name names because then it becomes a political thing, but like there's just so many people that I'm like, can't you just be a person? You wonder, you're disconnected. Like when people can't
see transparency this day and age. That's it.
Authenticity.
Yeah. Let us just see you.
I know that there's very, very important things that are on the line, and I understand.
Sure.
I mean, we can only assume to try to understand what that level of responsibility is, but we can fathom it. Like, okay, I get it. So I understand that you can't go up there and like, be too unprofessional in the sense of that. But I just want to see some authenticity. Imagine someone saying
a little bit more though. There's some. I said a little bit more.
Not really. Andrew Yang's the only one being real.
Yang gang.
But I would just love for someone to
love
say, just like, if someone asks a question, well, how's this going to be? Like, you know what? Be like, I'm not sure. I'm going to dig into that and get back to you.
Honest.
Never had anyone, not one politician ever go, you know what? That's a great question. I'm going to do some research and I'll be sure to answer it, on social media.
Yeah.
If you follow me on there and you're interested, I'll answer that question and get back to
go.
all of you. Now, all of a sudden, not just like they have an answer for everything or they dodge it.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know why we start off with a joke with that. But anyway, today, and this is another good thing for people with a Maltese Shih Tzu.
Ooh, tell us, baby.
Well, who were you talking to that your friend said that they were biting their feet all the time, and we figured it out?
I was talking to my physical therapist, and he's so great. He's wonderful, and he was saying that his girlfriend has a Maltese Shih Tzu who is now 9, or maybe it was just a Maltese, purebred Maltese. And he's like, but the thing is, this dog is so needy. Every hour in the middle of the night, he wants to get down. He always seems like there's something going on. And I go, this just start. And he's like, yeah, it's a new behavior. And I was like, well, when my dog turned 10, he started getting his glands, they would fill up,
Anal glands, yeah.
His anal glands, and you have to get them released. I mean, this happens in so many breeds. But with Benji, the way that we know he's not doing well is he'll wake us up in the middle of the night. And even last night, I've been noticing it for like a week now. He'll bite his paws. But last night he ran up to me in the middle of the night and I go, he does not do this. I go, he's got to get him released. So I told him, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to look into that, because he's like, this is a new behavior. And the dog, anytime he wakes us up in the middle of the night, I'm like, it's his glands.
Or he's doing excessive licking.
Yes.
It's like he's biting his back foot because it's like the closest he can get to his butt.
Yep.
And as soon as we get him released, he is just a normal dog. And about 4 weeks in, you'll see him either scoot his butt or he'll start really aggressively eating his back feet. And we always thought it was foot allergies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, or whatever we thought it was. But yeah, so today we decided, you had a great idea. We're like, let's walk to the vet. Like, we'll do our little, steps, but let's go to the vet. And then you walk right in. It took like 15, 20 minutes. How much does it cost?
$29, 26.
Okay.
So not horrible.
And you don't have to wait or have an appointment, which is great too. You just go in and that's worth $1 million because he's healthy. He sleeps through the night, which is really nice. But yeah, we ran into our friend today, and it kind of sparked some interesting conversations. Yes. She's a very, very successful actress. She's been on multiple television shows, and we were just like walking. We saw her on the street.
Love LA.
And she was like talking about pilot season, and we were thinking about that too. And, I remember back when I started off in acting, it was almost like, it's funny how a video on demand or a video straight to DVD was like less than, and having to put something on tape meant that their room was just going to be so packed and but we love the agent or manager, or we love the actor. Send us a tape and we'll see. And it used to be like not below, but it's how we think. Now, straight to Netflix, straight to on demand, straight to YouTube, straight to anything, anywhere is amazing because people are comfortable with consuming content on platforms now. Yep. And then everyone's putting stuff on tape now, which I have been literally waiting for like 5 years for that to happen. And she's like literally like all of them. And she's got a bigger resume than me. So for her, that's just how it is. I've been hearing it from everybody. I am so pumped.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe auditioning again. Because if I don't have to go anywhere unless the producers want to see me and it's down to the top 20.
Hey.
Then I'll drive to Culver City.
That's the whole thing, though, is if you're going to drive. People who don't live in LA is really big. There's a lot of traffic. And once you actually get to this destination, then you have to try and find street parking, which, oh my gosh, it's way, way difficult. So to go through all that and then to get in the room for 5 seconds to be put on tape anyway with the casting director.
Where the producers are going to watch.
Yeah. So if you're actually me and the producer, it's worth it to go through all that. But if you're not...
Well, that's the only thing. And a lot of it, too, is on lots. Like if you're going to Universal or Warner Brothers, you have to park in a garage. You have to get a pass. You have to go through a metal detector. They give you this thing. You have to walk nine yards. I was trying to think of a bigger measurement to give my dramatic...
You're talking to the wrong gal.
9 miles. That's okay, better. You have to walk 9 miles to like some bungalow. And the whole thing is just super time consuming. But I understand what the reward is. And that's what we have to do. Here I am, 10 years in of work, so I'm just kind of like whatever. But even with herself, she was just like, it is a process. Like it is such a process, and now they've made it easier. And for us,
Well,
we got lights and a
us,
camera,
though,
a backdrop.
a lot of people might not like putting it on tape because they might not have a setup. Imagine having to go into, a specific studio that your manager or agent is like, you got to go to this place. I remember that used to happen to me, and the place that they would refer me to was on the other side of the hill. So I'm driving over there anyway. You're paying $100 per tape. Yeah, it's professional. Back then, though, when you're doing that, chances of them watching are slim to none.
Now they're just watching it. But also, you couldn't have a 4K camera.
Yeah.
Like, you needed the lights and everything. But we have, we moved the camera that's on you right here. The backdrop is green. And you just have fun with it.
Setup.
People are used to the content. So I don't want this to sound like I'm entitled or anything, but it's just I'm excited that it's way more convenient.
Sure.
And if you're going to have me go to Culver City, it's going to be nice that you have watched me. You go, oh, wow, he could actually play this role. He looks 27 or 35, whatever I'm going for. Yeah. That was the other thing. Is I don't want to drive there on a technicality when they already have 7 dudes lined up that are names, and then I was number 8 or something. It's now, if you just want to just have me put on tape, it's practice. And then if you want me to come in as top 20, because you know that I could actually book the role, I'm excited walking in. And they came to me in a weird way.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about in our last podcast, because they're seeing a video. And the producers are like, hey, what's up? Yeah. I saw your tape. You're really good, but I got some notes. Or here, try this. And you're like, oh, cool. Now you're working together rather than just this, remember those rooms? It's just a chair.
Oh, it's
a camera.
It's the worst.
And you don't know what do you say? You walk in, you go, hey,
You give them too much personality, you're trying too hard. You're not peppy enough. They're like, oh,
I don't want to work 6 years with you on this show if it goes.
You just never know what these people want.
Or you'd be like, hey, how's it going? Step on the blue tape, please.
Sure
All right.
thing.
Well, can we hurry this up because my meter's out in 17 minutes here and I just got to get going.
Do you know one time I was at a commercial audition and I met this girl in the waiting room and she was called to go in and she threw her keys at me. She goes, if I'm not out in 5 minutes, can you go move my car? And I was like, what? And I remember going on my phone and tweeting. That's back when I was a tweeter. And I was like, what do I do? And I didn't go. I was like, I don't know you.
Sorry.
And she came out, she handled it. But you just never know what's going to happen.
It's like if someone says, hey, can you watch my laptop? Or I'm going to run to the bathroom. It's like, well, I can watch it, but I'm not going to fight someone. I'm just going to say, hey, don't steal that.
But that I would rather do over going and moving a car and finding a car. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know.
You can't. People don't have any self-awareness.
No.
Speaking of, what the hell has been going on at the park workout area?
Twice now. We've been there working out in the little outdoor area with the machines. And twice, these children come in, and whoever's watching them is watching them do this. And the kids literally push us off of the equipment. And they start breaking it and banging it and, screaming at the dog. And you know how he is. We got to be careful with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to bite anyone.
If someone would have filmed it, it would have been a great commercial for abstinence.
Well,
it's not there is a huge playground for the children.
On the opposite side.
Yeah. Why are you in the gated off workout areas for adults? And the parents are just watching, oh, we're so sorry. You're so sorry.
They didn't say that.
There is a huge park. Get your kids off of my equipment. This is for adults only.
Because it sounds like they're breaking it too when they're doing stuff. And then you got up in between one set, and then they
sit down and sit. I'm like, and I remember I was like, what could I possibly have said to this woman though in a nice way? Where I go, excuse me, we're kind of working out here, it's obviously a public park, but there's also just common sense and common decency. We're gonna be done in 10 minutes, and there's I don't know. A friggin' park? We're in a park. Why are you here?
Equipment.
And then I thought, then what?
You first.
No, and then this other guy comes today, and I go, well, he's looking at me. I gave him a smile. The other 3 kids run in. This little girl, she's, God bless her. She's got her little princess dress on. She's coughing up a storm.
She was coughing real bad.
And I was just like, what is happening? 2 days in a row? Hey. It's no bigger than this table.
No, it's tiny.
Why are you in there? And I want to tell the parents, excuse me, I want you to turn around in a 360-degree circle. Be anywhere else but here.
so out of control.
Why don't you go into the tennis courts and go, why don't you just play hopscotch in the middle of two adults playing tennis? That's exactly what you're doing by coming into my workout area.
I honestly think, though, the kids see the dog and they're like, ooh, let's go in that one. Kids don't know.
They didn't go for the dog. They directly ran like they have never seen
Equipment
any
before.
sort of toy like this in their entire lives.
Well, but what's funny is right next to it, there's a whole nother equipment
Oh, they
area.
were there. They got bored with the ab station.
Oh.
They wanted to come and mess with the back and chest station.
That's right.
Yeah. I would have hung out a little bit, but then
It gets weird.
the
The
coughing,
girl had to cough.
the coughing, it's like, no.
We hate getting sick. Who likes it? But
Well, no one.
we stress out hard.
But we were outside, and it sounded like it was the end of the cold.
Yeah.
Looks like she was on her way out.
It's
Or the
all right,
cold was
though.
on her way out.
We got a little workout in. The
So,
kids got to have some fun.
This episode is all about frustration with children.
Oh, no. Why? What's next?
Oh, no, it was just that. It was just like, what were the chances 2 days in a row when we have gone there?
It's comical.
Yeah. And I went the other day when you weren't with me, and there was just another guy working out in there. And I was like, well, yeah, we're going to share because there's multiple things, and we didn't talk to each other, and it was great. I was listening to my music. You know, kids can play. But people don't think about it. Both people had no...
They didn't care.
And for people who's listening who didn't see it happen, I mean, we're literally on a machine. I get off the machine
In
to
a
kind of
small area.
like stretch my hey, I'm taking a minute break and I'm going to go back on it.
Nope.
The kids obviously don't know any better. How old
No.
were they? 7, 6?
Maybe, or 6.
And the parents should know better. Like, oh my gosh, like if I was a parent and there was 3 kids, I say, hey, they're using it. They're working out. When they're done, we'll come back.
Let's wait our turn.
We're going to wait our turn. What is that called? Oh, manners? Anyway, back to auditioning.
And that is how you pivot.
That is how you pivot. I never watched SNL.
So, quick question. To get back into the audition field now, when you first started, what was our age range then? 18 to 22 that you played? Were you going younger?
I always went younger, yeah.
I guess so.
Because I was 18 when I started.
Well, that's true.
So I was
Probably
going for
16.
I think I even auditioned for 14 to,
What?
yeah. Because sometimes they do a little older.
See, I was always tall, so that was the issue for me playing younger. 5'7".
You around 21 to 25 would have been a great high schooler.
Yeah.
So that's the, but
So
yeah.
what do you think you'd play now?
If I continue to lose weight and get real skinny rip skinny
Yeah.
and lose, because I lose it in my face.
You do.
And if I shave and I'm clean shaven, I could pull off probably 24. But if I keep a beard and at where I am right now, I probably look like 30,
Yeah.
28 to 35.
How old's Sonny? If you had to guess.
I don't know. 30? I think he was in college when I started. I don't know.
And
It's probably
so
30.
They never had anyone play him when he was younger? 10, 8?
New character, yeah.
Wow.
Or I don't know how the background works. I mean, they didn't just make another kid for Justin and Adrian, but they...
I wonder what... did they ever mention the name Sonny when he was, born on the show? Or that was...
I don't know.
You don't know? Too much backstory.
Too much backstory. Too long ago.
Oh
I don't know.
my gosh.
But yeah, I was playing younger. But right now, I just think I'm most likely going to be clean shaven. I'm gonna work up to my beard again, and I'd like to go out But it just depends on how they cast, because there's even people who are 28 years old who still play high school.
Yeah.
If the whole cast is 28, making believe that they're 18.
Yeah.
So, how about you?
How about me? What?
How about you? What age would you play?
I don't know. What do you think? You're looking at me.
I think I feel like your first role back would be you would have 3 or 4 lines in a really popular primetime show where you're a Soul Cycle instructor in leggings and just come on class, we're gonna blah 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 blah, and you have a southern accent. You're come on class, and then afterwards one of the main guys who's a misogynist on the show is gonna look you up and down, and you're gonna kind of give him a dirty look and grab your hydro flask and leave and say, all right ladies, see you next week.
Oh Oh my god, that's oddly specific.
I know.
I love it.
But mine is going to be probably just like some real cool like CIA agent who like knows like
Who you?
yeah, like who knows how to fight people.
Right,
And like I'm like a hero.
Hey.
And like everyone in the town like gathers around like the steps of like their municipal like place in downtown, and the police commissioner gives a speech about me at the end of the episode, and I just thank everyone, and everyone wants me to come back as a series regular, and I'd be like, listen, I'm busy working on another show, but I'll come in recurring whenever I'm off, that
Right.
This is how I see everything going.
I love it.
Yeah. So
Vision board, baby.
yeah,
Manifest
it.
Hey, it'll be interesting. We'll see.
We got to see what they all say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how people will see me, but I've waited long enough because I haven't auditioned. The last time I auditioned was 2013 or 14.
14.
I think 13, actually. I didn't audition in 14.
Oh, because you were on the show, though. No. Yeah.
I remember my very last audition, and it was for one of the Spider-Man movies. But there's been a lot of them, so it's hard to remember. But I remember going to it, and it was...
How'd it go?
I don't know. I didn't get it. 2000. So it's probably been like 7 years. So no one's going to remember me, which is
good.
Great, because the energy I want is for people to go, like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, how come we don't know him? That's good.
Of course.
Because everyone else who they don't know is fresh,
And they won't be
and
good.
they're going to have work to do. They'll be,
You don't know. They could be green.
That's probably, yeah. Or they're going to just be in their feelings like how I was, like when I was young, like, now I'm just going to like, hey, like, I get it. If you're going to cast me or not, I totally get it. And I don't care either way.
Yeah.
It's a bonus if you give it to me. Back in the day, it was like, ask Mio. I was like, I got a book.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I would
There
do
was
like
just
the
so much at
craziest-
stake. Trying to get out of jobs and wanting, like, I feel like when we're that young in our teens, early 20s, everything is like the end all be all.
Well, you have something to prove. You're
Yeah.
young. You're optimistic. You don't really know that booking, like 90210, like didn't really matter
Yep.
in the long term.
Yeah.
It matter now because of followers.
Social media.
Followers.
Dude, you got on that show a little too early.
Yep. Yep.
If that was playing today and
Yeah.
you're on it, it's like a freeform show where you're on that, you got millions of followers overnight.
Well, that's why it's great just to do like a 5 or 6 episode.
Mm-hmm.
It would just throw so much gasoline on the fire. And I also think it's cool that people, if they were to see you on a show, that they would go and look you up, or me on a show now and go look us up. They're going to come into our world. Like, oh, you're going to come into our Instagram community, you're going to come into our Facebook community, you're going to come into our YouTube, and we got foundation.
Sure.
It wasn't like I was just effing off, and now Freeform's just like, listen, Freddie, you got to have an Instagram, and you better start posting, and then I have zero knowledge of what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
then you post like random pictures, you don't know how to do brand deals, you don't know how to actually use the platform correctly. Like, we got the foundation laid.
Got that foundation laid.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. So it'll just throw a fire onto everything else we're doing. And I defaced my script here.
What are those scribbles on there?
Well, I was
Numbers?
yeah, because when you were looking at that resume or whatever, that media kit, we need to update our numbers. Listen to this, people, and this is all thanks to you. We're just doing our part of putting stuff out.
That's right.
And with all of your lovely comments and likes and attention, you've created something with us super, super cool. So between Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I got to start over. My mind's on something else already. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and our text message service. Out of those 6 platforms, we've got 331,350 followers.
Dang.
That is insane.
That's insane.
That's a lot of people. Imagine that. Like, what's a stadium, or like Madison Square Garden is like
does that hold?
20, 30,000 people?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? No way.
Really?
Let me fact check that
Really?
real quick. Really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
We have a meeting on Wednesday, P.S.
Oh yeah?
Mhm.
Oh cool.
Yeah.
We got a couple meetings next week.
No, we got a lot.
But you've gotten through to me to let things be for a while. before I start talking about things. So we got some couple meetings next week. And then let me just finish off these statistics real quick.
Yes.
105, before you show me, hold on. 105,000 hours watched of our content.
Wow.
And 11.14 million views.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that is insane. Insanity.
But that's the kind of stuff that
Wow.
the reason we put this together, it's not to like, everyone who's listening knows us well enough that we're not like, hey, look what we have. But these metrics, mean something to advertisers, to decision makers in everything that we're trying to do.
Yep.
When it comes to sponsors, when it comes to agents, managers, booking a part, getting funding, the script, like everything we're doing, those metrics show that we're being proactive.
Yep.
We're able to go into an audition room, into a meeting, into any brand meeting, anything we're doing, and we get to show them those numbers, and that means something in the business world. Yep. So from the bottom of our heart, seriously, thank you for your ongoing support, because I can't speak for obviously businesses, but a lot of businesses will look at this as just numbers.
Yeah.
But we built this from one person to another person to another person, and we understand the people behind this, the people that we've shook their hand, we've said hello, we've commented, and we've conversed.
Yeah.
We've built a community here.
Yep. And
I think people know that. And I think we've actually got like a really cool tribe that we're all going to be able to continue to grow and move together as we continue to grow.
Yep. That's insane.
Yeah.
P.S.
Just to begin.
Madison Square Garden was 20,789, I think it said.
We're crushing them.
Crushing. Love it. I love you and your numbers. You're always adding. He always makes this joke how he's like, babe, I'm on my favorite app. I'm like, the calculator. Yeah. Always the calculator. Always.
But you got to know, it's funny how you created the graphic design of our media kit and our resumes and our pitch decks, yep. And you create all the copyright, but I create the figures numbers. And the, like when we're talking in certain aspects of like learning the, what do you call them, acronyms? Like a CPM? Is that an acronym?
Oh, I believe so. I don't know.
No, an acronym is an acronym is like NBC is an acronym. Everything. National Broadcasting. What's NBC stand for?
We're really just...
Anyway.
An abbreviation form from the initial letters of other words and pronounced as a word. Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so a CPM is like cost per milli, and RPM is revenue per milli, and milli means 1,000 views, and like
anything having to do with facts and figures is your jam.
Yeah.
My brain just stops, and I just can't handle it. I just love numbers because.
Well, I love writing. If you look at our YouTube videos, you'll see the ones where I was impatient, waiting for you to write a description.
I always go, no.
And you'll see the ones I write. I go, in today's episode, we talked with our friend about cool things, and that's my description. And like yours is like this well thought out.
There are a few I got to go in there and fix, but it's all good.
But now that I know that those descriptions matter, for the yet again another acronym, SEO, search engine optimization.
Wow,
so when someone goes to YouTube and types in Days of Our Lives, Sunny and Justin, that has to be written in the description so that YouTube will go, oh wait, this is probably what they're looking for, and they'll promote our video. Search engine optimization, SEO.
Boom, baby.
I just love all that stuff. I love all the ads and running it. Like I love the business part, and that's why I want to utilize, if we're going to audition, when we audition, and we are doing all this, I want to use it to propel our personal brand business and everything else we're doing that's leading to us running a production company, owning everything that we're doing. Like I can't just act. Well, it's a snooze fest to just show up and sit in your trailer and like watch.
There's so many different parts of it and hats that we both wear that we love about the creative. A lot of actors just love to act. That's their jam. And that's cool. Or some actors who are just actors who freaking crush and no one can touch them. But then there are a lot of actors who like to do other stuff.
Yeah, you just got to see where you fit in and what you want to do.
Yeah.
but I just like having control because I really believe it's going to help the mood of going to meet people, because like even when I booked all my other things, like I was auditioning so much at the peak when I was booking stuff, because auditioning was like 3 a week back then. Mm-hmm. And now it's not. It's like 1 every 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, you'll see. Depends what
but back then
in.
you were also, I was just like, you know, hey, like I'm here. This is my 3rd one this week. I got 3 more next week. So like whatever, like you need that energy to win.
Yeah.
Because going in of just like, hey, what's going on, everyone? Like, man, if I get this, I get to quit Outback Steakhouse. It's going to be really amazing. So do you want me to do it like, what kind of way? Do you want to do it your way, my way? Like, it doesn't really matter. I can do whatever. So I can read it. I kind of have it off book, but whatever. So I just on this tape. Perfect. All right. They're like, listen, dude, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm uncomfortable watching you.
Well, we had a friend back in the day who anytime he'd go out, he just had I don't really care whether I book this or not. And you guys are lucky that I'm even here. And he booked everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I remember he
turned money down.
Oh my God.
I want more.
He was broke. He was broke and was being offered, I think it was 20, what was he offered? I think he was offered like $22,500 per episode.
So like
you film an episode a week. So that's pretty standard though for like a primetime show.
Right.
You do, 20 episodes. It's about $500,000 for the year. You pay your agents and taxes. You walk away with $220,000. But
numbers.
But yeah, he was broke. Got this offer. They wanted him, and he goes, "I won't do it for under $27,000 an episode." And their agent's like, "You do
sure?
know they could tell you to go F yourself and like pick their second choice." He goes, "I know what I'm worth. I'm not doing it." I was like, "You have no money. You are literally broke." Nope. I don't care. Whatever.
And they gave it to him.
They gave it to him, but he was willing to give up. He just doesn't care.
Because I felt like he knew, well, if it wasn't this one, it'll be another one. And having that energy of, hey, I'm fine with or without. Because when you want something so bad, I feel like energy reverses and it's like, no.
Yeah, that's...
Like when the desperation comes out. Because you want it so bad.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's always opposite. So, I don't know. I notice more in life when, like, you just don't care and you're like, I'm okay either way.
Yeah, it's a fine line between not caring and being unprepared.
100%.
It just don't care about the outcome. Care about your work, don't care about the outcome. Yes. Bryan Cranston said the best way to audition is to look at it as I'm prepared. I'm going to show you what I enjoy doing. And I'm going to just perform for you. And I leave.
Yeah.
I just want to show a room of people, like, this is what I do.
This,
and I'm going to enjoy showing you what I like to do.
Ooh, I love
and then you leave.
I love that.
So going into it, this woman on this documentary who they're looking for extraterrestrial life, and they have AI who's like looking through the entire galaxy. Let me just side note, blow your minds. Guess how much of space we've actually explored. Imagine that the galaxy is all the water and all the oceans here on planet Earth.
Okay.
We've only researched and discovered a glass of water full.
No. A glass?
A glass of water from all of our oceans.
Insane.
Water combined that's how big the galaxy is. And so they're looking for anyway, but she was like, if I woke up every day and go, today's the day we're gonna find extraterrestrial life, we're gonna find someone else. She goes, I would go to bed feeling like a failure every day. She goes, I just wake up every day and go, I just need to continue to improve like what we're doing and get closer and closer and just move forward and feel accomplished about that. Because if you were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no matter what you're trying to do, it's like if you're like, I'm a book today. It's like, no, just did you read an acting book? Did you go to acting class? Did you put up a video on Instagram and on YouTube? Did you do everything you could for your acting career? Did you work out? Did you eat healthy? Did you make a new friend? Did you network? Yes. Great. Go to bed feeling good. You couldn't have had a better day. And you win. But if you think, I didn't book today. I didn't book. But, so it's just all the whole mindset thing. But now we just know. We're just so much more interesting people. My God. Can't believe I went on 500 auditions and had no friggin' clue.
Hey, you're young.
Oh my God, just walking in. I just didn't know. I looked at these people, like we meet with agents and producers and all these people. I'm like, listen, you can have your suit and your nice office. I know who you are.
Yeah.
I can look at someone now and just go, I've I've had 100,000 interactions in my life through business, through meetings. I completely know that as soon as this is over, you're going to undo that tie. You're going to be going home, cracking open. Like, they're just normal people.
Yeah,
and some of these people don't even want to be there.
Yeah.
So when you kind of look at them as like human beings like we all are, rather than these figures that I used to be like, wow, you could change my life.
But
Weird
you got to
energy.
realize, though, too, that's age because we were so young. Anyone who was in a leadership position in the industry to help you with your career, they all had to have been older. Now we're at an age where people in their 30s can run the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can
They're more
be your
contemporaries.
peers. Yeah. So
That's a good point.
just interesting. I think with over time, and imagine as we continue getting older, just more confidence, because everyone that you're working with
Is your age.
is we're the same age.
You're just like, hey, your knee, you have to like rub your feet out before you get out of bed. Yeah, because it like cramps, right? Yeah, me too. So just scene 2 out of the 4 scenes today. Okay.
It's crazy.
It's one of those days I don't really want to be here, but I'll read for you. So like that kind of energy when you really mean it, they're gonna go, I get it. But let's see you turn it on. You're like, all right, let me do it. So my only question is going to be like what they're going to do for a reel.
Well, I told you I was doing a bit of research, and from a very prestigious company, like within the industry, they are basically saying that for people who maybe don't have as much to have on a reel, all they want to see is you kind of like your screen testing right here, a monologue. Like, they just want to see you. So even for you, I know you were more worried about, well, I don't want mine just to be a soap reel, you know, because like you've been on a soap opera all these years. I don't think it's one of those things where you have to, I mean, you have a lot of stuff though, but you were younger too.
Well, I can't use it in my younger stuff, but like if I'm using because it just shows one genre.
Yeah. But I Love You in comedy, like everything from Addicts when you play Gary Goldberg.
Well, that's what I would have to talk. But even that's I'm so young. I just want to talk because I also don't, because I'm on a drama.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want to be pigeonholed in the sense that they're like, oh wow, he can cry, cool. Well, now we're gonna only think of him as drama.
Right.
It's like I've done drama now for 9 years. We'll probably do it 9, 10, like whatever it is. It's like if I'm gonna transition to something else in 6 months or 5 years or whatever it is. It would be nice to swing over to like an action film or like a comedy just to switch it up, because I've been, you've been crying and I've been yelling and screaming for 10 years. It'd be nice to go to work being like, oh.
But this is where
like
I'm curious how things are now, because back in the day for submissions, if you're a manager or an agent, you want to make sure that you are on the submissions the second they come out on breakdowns, because if other managers or agents already submitted their actors for a specific role, back in the day how it used to be is that these casting offices would only take, say it was like 50 of the first people submitted, because they're like, that's all we can see. You can't see, hundreds of people in one day.
Yeah.
So now that everything's on tape, I wonder if it's a little more lenient, because you can see in 5 seconds if someone's it or not, and then you move
And you
past.
also don't have to be as polite.
Yes.
Like, I actually feel like for the casting, like, oh, thank
like,
God.
Thank you.
Like, even for us when we judge for the Emmys, imagine if we had to go sit in a room and watch
And say hi to them first.
Yeah, oh, hi,
Small
hey, I love
talk.
your work. My mom watches GH. That's really... My mom? Yeah, she watches GH. That's really funny. Oh, my God, your kid's on Instagram. This is great. So, let's go ahead and watch... Like, I just love that I can watch and go, yeah, this person's
Yes,
good. I'll
no,
vote,
yes,
or no,
no.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll be able to look and go, no.
You might
And they
be
don't have to
able
feel
be
rude.
seen more. So
Yeah.
that's the whole reason people had reels, is they wanted to see, hey, is this the character? Could they be the character?
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll see. We'll find out.
I love it. That's gonna be super exciting. But yeah, it's we'll see how it's all going. But it's gonna be different and it's gonna be new. But I think everything that we've been able to cultivate is gonna help us, and it just goes hand in hand. And I think we're ready. Like, we got everything in order, and so we'll see how that all goes. But I was also too, for all of you who have been just spreading so much love, and all the compliments have been wonderful about this week's work on Days.
Okay, can I
I just
say,
really appreciate everybody's kind words.
Yes, I mean, I've even gotten so many messages too about his work and Chandler, and I mean everyone. The entire show was insane, and we just watched
Fridays
up today, and I mean, I was bawling, crying, bawling. And I used to always think too, I was like, it's so interesting when a significant other watches their partner, deliver an emotional scene, because like, the person, and it's just a little, like, one of my biggest things is I usually don't genuinely choose to watch shows unless it's like to support, but to really escape into a show when it's someone I know, because I'm like, I know you, like, it's hard for me to escape.
As soon as a friend books a show that you're just like, oh, you're on my show, now it's going to come, now it's fake.
Yeah. But anytime we throw on Days, I am instantly like just completely enthralled in what's going on. I was just sitting there bawling. And I think too, I don't generally see, I don't see you cry like that. Like how upset, obviously it was a really big moment. You just lost your mom, which you did so good. But seeing you like that just like was breaking my heart, and the fact that you were able to like tap into that, and it was just, you guys did so good.
It was intense. I think my favorite scene out of the whole entire Friday was when Wally was hearing from Chandler.
Yes.
There was just something about, like, you felt the stillness of that scene. And then remember I was telling you too how I reacted was appropriate, and then how Wally reacted was so appropriate. You could see that he, like, I was kind of a little, but then we had a different relationship, obviously. But Wally could have, like he was mature, like he was still like, it's because of you, but he also didn't like grab him or say you really like I feel like that would have been a hot-headed like 26-year-old or something. Like, you could see the wisdom and maturity in the way that he was. It was just so, it was so good, and I feel like I was impacted because I said this in another video, when it's just casual, like, hey, Ari's at school, or like, hey, what's going on, or like, oh my God, your grandma's in the hospital, like, we'll be there, or then the phone rings, is everything okay? Like, you're aware that you're acting because you're just kind of like not phoning it in, but you don't have to tap into anything. I'm just being myself. I'm like, oh my God, your grandma's in the hospital, is she okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being concerned. That's easy.
Yeah. But
when you're like having to cry and be in that moment, you're so internal that I don't really remember doing the scenes.
Of course.
So when I get to watch it, I'm like, holy cow, because I got to watch Will as an actor. I got to watch Wally as an actor today, where when I was in the scene, I didn't care about what Will was feeling, because I wanted to, like, why would you do this? Like, why? Right. Like, I was all about what's my intention for you? You like blah 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 blah. So I wasn't able to sit back like I am in some of the scenes where I'm just like, not, when you're not emotional, it's easier to kind of be aware of like, oh, the red, the light's coming on, or I got to move over, or like you're kind of aware because it's just like you're chilling. But that was really great, and I can't remember if I got a note from the director or if I just made that choice. I love that I came at it from pain rather than anger, because it would be very easy to have just been like, you're just so busy, like venomous, and like immature about it. Like, but the choice I took was hurt, was pain, and it didn't turn into anger. Yeah,
it was great.
So
good.
But that was really, and then he had
man.
And what's crazy is that I think I remember, I think it was Albert, the executive producer, who, when he had, or maybe it was, who directed that episode? I don't know. It was so long ago. But when Will had to walk between me and Wally, like, that's tough. Like, he had to like walk through us to like leave. But he just did so good, and then we find out that that Maggie was responsible. And I love how they showed the present and the past. Yeah. So you're like, well, what's going to happen now? To be honest, I don't really remember what happens.
Shocker.
But
you don't remember anything before today.
Yeah, but he, like, I don't remember like how it all comes out, like, what happens. But I hinted at this the other day on a video that I did. But there is a twist that I would put money on that no one would guess. So anyone who's guessed that I've seen hasn't come close, but they're good guesses.
I know the twist, though, right?
You know the twist.
I know the twist.
But it's like I can only imagine what you're gonna feel as the audience, because when I got the script, I was with you. When we got this time hop thing, I was like, what's going on? Like, who's this Manny? Like, I remember when me and Galen had like the first scene, and then all of a sudden, like, there was a Manny, and I was like, wait a minute, Will's in jail? Like, I didn't even know that he was texting and driving. There was like 2 weeks we were filming that I didn't know why he was in, like, what. I was like, how did you kill my mom? And he's like,
you guys didn't
know.
No.
I was like, how did you? So I was like, did you accidentally like shoot a gun, or like, it was obviously in my mind, I was like, it's got to be an accident, but we didn't know. So then we were like, oh my God, he was texting and driving, and we're like, oh my God, it was Maggie.
Oh, that's probably fun and interesting as you guys were going and learning.
Yeah, but it was, but then there's, another ultimate twist. So I wish I could tell you, but then that would ruin it.
Everyone will have to just.
I'm sure it'll come out a couple weeks before it airs, unfortunately. But people who don't look at spoilers would be super surprised. But yeah, I overall was just super thrilled, and
everyone did really amazing.
Yeah, like, how do you put a show together like that? My God. Oh, and I also messed up the steps, by the way. When I watched the first episode, when Haley fell down the stairs, remember that, where they showed her today?
Yes.
I said that was the stairs down to the basement. It wasn't. It was the stairs from the production offices on the 3rd floor down to the main floor where the stages are.
Oh.
But for some reason, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, I thought they were...
Huh.
Yeah. Unless they used both stairs.
Maybe they did.
I don't know. So when they fool the people who work there. But I know for sure that she was laying there when Kate Mansi came up to her today, that it was like on, like, that wall right behind Kate Mansi was the makeup room.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it, but.
And these are the days of our lives.
Yeah. So overall, it was just an incredible episode.
Great job.
And I'm sure the upcoming weeks are going to be great, because I think I don't know if I think all the flashbacks are like basically done now.
Yeah.
I think that was the week. Now moving forward, it's going to be like that's all in the, like, everyone's caught up now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
But anyway, I want to thank you all for your kind words, because it just means a lot. Like, people were very thoughtful too, like, with what they were saying, and it just means a lot, because there's times that I just forget. I go through the motion of, like, like how everyone else feels, no matter what job you have. You're like, oh, I got to get to bed. I got to wake up in the morning, or you're up at 1:30 and you're like, oh my God, I have to get up at 6. Like, I have to go to the car wash after, run to the bank. I got to make that call. And, and in between it, we're memorizing lines. I'm clocking in, clocking out. You're looking about, thinking of your future and everything else that's going on. Then you're like, did we nail it? Oh, we're good. Okay. We got done by lunch. And then you're just gone. And then the next day you're looking at another script and you forgot all about it.
Yeah.
So when you look back and see a moment like this, it's really, really neat. And then last thing on this, then we'll wrap it up and get some din.
Mm-hmm.
You bought a lot of healthy food.
So much.
I'm so pumped about that. But I probably will use some of this in my Emmy reel, but it's got to be for the year 2021.
Ugh. Really?
Yep, the cutoff date was December 31st, because the Emmy this year, which I think is in June.
Really?
Interestingly enough.
Usually they're in May.
But you have to basically, my episode had to air in 2019 to win for 2019 in the 2020 ceremony. For me to win an Emmy in 2020, it's got to be like this episode that aired in 2020. But
Are you excited?
No, not at all. Not at all. But so anyway, so I have to wait a whole year. Yeah.
Well, let's not forget this episode.
Oh, I won't. 23rd, 24th.
Right?
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be like...
Did you submit stuff already?
Yep.
You did?
Yep.
So that's all good.
It's all good. Me saying goodbye to Will, and then me talking to Chad or Billy Flynn. That we had like a 4-minute scene where he was playing chess with his dad.
I love that scene.
So I submitted both those, like 7 minutes total.
And are there prenoms this year or no?
No.
There aren't?
No.
There usually are.
Yes.
And so now...
We wouldn't know, because I didn't make prenom the last 3-4 years. But
Come on.
but this year, maybe I'll get nominated. We'll see.
I think you
That'd
will.
be cool. Being nominated is cool, just because it makes the ceremony just a
Well,
tad more
exciting.
interesting, or
Yeah.
when a lot of the castmates are nominated, you're just like each category, you're like, ooh, I know this person.
Yeah.
You know.
So when will nominations come out? Do you have any idea?
If it's June, like last year it was like May, because I remember
Yeah,
I was out of town because that's when my grandma passed, and I
Yeah.
came back the day before. I was like, I just can't go to the Emmys right now. It was just like so
Yeah.
crazy.
So, wow.
But now that it's in June, like we might have to wait until like people listening will know.
Let us know.
Let us
Tweet
know.
us. Instagram us.
Yeah, let us know. But
So
thank
what do you want for dinner?
Thank you everyone for listening. I don't know. We'll make something.
Figure it out. Yeah, we appreciate everyone, and thanks so much for letting us know your thoughts on the amazing episodes. It means a lot. We're all
Yeah.
really proud of Fred.
So, well, thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
That's what I do when I leave the house. But anyway, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like the video, please like it. It goes a long way, and
Yeah.
we'd much appreciate that. So, all right, everyone, we'll see you tomorrow.